Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. We are super, super excited to have you here. If you give me just one more second, get that switched. Okay, there we go. Okay, so good morning, everyone, and welcome to Women Empowering Women. Today, you're going to hear from a few amazing women discussing their journey with nutrition as well as their impact to the communities that they serve. But first, let me introduce myself. I am one of your hosts, and my name is Precious Cooper. I am a wife of 18 years, a mother of 2. I live in Indianapolis, Indiana for the last almost 19 years, but I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. I am a marriage counselor as well as a nutrition advocate, just educating families on the power of nutrition and how they can grow their own food indoor all year round. Now I'm gonna go ahead and let my co-host introduce herself.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Wanda Nichols. I live in Gainesville, Florida, which is the University of Florida, Tim Tebow. Everyone knows Gainesville, Florida by that. I am right now at an event. I'm having an event in Tampa, Florida, which is about 2 hours from where I am. I am a registered nurse by profession. I am a nursepreneur. And I am a grandmother and a mother. So welcome. I'm so excited to be here and so happy to see you guys here this morning.
Thank you. So if you guys can go ahead and put your phone on mute, and we are going to start with our panelists. Our first panelist is Jill. And Jill, can you go ahead and introduce yourself? And the rest of the panelists you can follow.
Absolutely. So hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning. I am Jill Ellis. I live in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So Detroit would be downstate Michigan. I live in closer to Canada. I work from home, helping families and individuals get and stay healthy. So welcome.
Good morning. I'm so grateful to be here. My name is Adetokunbo Faleti. I'm from Southern California, originally from Texas, though. I'm a social worker by trade, but I'm a volleyball coach and trainer right now, pretty exclusively. And I love helping people get healthy.
Yay.
Good morning, and my name is Tyra Wiebe. I live in Augusta, Georgia. I'm a wellness coach and a partner with this amazing company of Juice Plus for almost 22 years now. I help people hit the easy button and get more plant foods in their diet.
Good morning, everyone from Sunshine, Miami. I am originally from Puerto Rico. I am a mom of 3. My name is Nicole. I am a health coach, and it is my passion to share this easy way to flood your body with fruits and vegetables. And my focus and mission are the children, because they deserve to have a better start. And it's easier to raise a healthy adult than to fix a sick one. And for that, I get to work with parents or adults or peers, so we can all as a community inspire healthy living by doing instead of by saying. So excited to be here.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so thank you so much, ladies, for being a part of this. And also to our guests, thank you as well for being here. You could have been anywhere in the world and you chose to be with us this Saturday morning. So we want you to know that we really appreciate it. So let's jump right in. When I think about the first woman that influenced my healthy living journey, it was my grandmother. She was always the person who knew exactly what to do to heal us, no matter what the ailment was. And usually she went to her garden to get those ingredients. So when you think about the first person in your life, past or present, tell us about it. Who was that person? Jill, you're up first.
Yes, I thought so. Okay. So that person for me would be my mother. We grew up in a homeopathic home, kind of using aloe vera for burns and all of that. And there was also, she fed us really well. There wasn't soda in our home. There wasn't junk cereal. If I went to a friend's and had the junk cereal, then I had a stomach ache. And it was like, I had the realization really young that that's what was causing it. And we rarely went through fast food. And I thought I was left out as a kid, but now I know what she was doing.
Wow.
Yes, and similar to Jill, my family was pretty healthy growing up, coming from an African household. My mother and my father were the first ones that talked a lot about nutrition and taking care of your body. But we do, as Africans, eat a lot of rice, and so we were very carb heavy diet, although we had lots of fruits and vegetables. But my track coach actually in 6th grade is the one, Coach Grooms. We talked to this day. She's the one that actually talked a lot about feeling your body the right way to be an athlete and have really high performance. And so I would say Coach Grooms is the first one that really brought into my attention how important it is to take care of your body all the time.
Wow. Well, the first person who influenced me on our health journey was a woman named Kathy Humani. I actually met her at a health food store 25 years ago when my family came into a huge health crisis. And Kathy was a stage 4 breast cancer survivor from 20 years prior to that. And she introduced me to this concept of whole food. And to be honest, y'all, back then, whole food to me meant the whole box of Twinkies. I had a lot of education that was needed. So, yeah.
I love all these stories. Mine was not like many of you guys. So I want to say that it was this amazing community 8 years ago or about that. I am from the Caribbean, from Puerto Rico, and my mom is Dominican. So although she has intestinal issues, she was the first, I want to say, because she was looking out for her health based on her condition. So she would take the extra time to cook for herself and then for the rest of the family. I think that was my first exposure to listening to your body and doing what's right for your body because it looks different for everyone. However, fruits and vegetables, we didn't grow up with that conversation. And yes, we had it, but it was not like intentional eating it and having them on a daily basis. So I am so grateful someone shared with me about this amazing community because that's when I started digging in and understanding about the relationship between food and our health and everything else. So thank you. Yes.
Wow.
Okay, so at what point in your life would you say that you discovered you needed a little more? No matter how you were brought up, at what point did you decide I need to do something else? What was the switch for you? Back to you, Jill.
Yes, thank you. So it was when I became a mom, actually, and I was responsible for feeding these littles. And at that time, I was actually cooking out of Seinfeld's wife's book on how to hide fruits and vegetables into the foods I was making. However, I also noticed that they were just moving the food around on their plate. So I knew I needed to make some changes.
Yeah, for me, it was really right after I had a career-ending knee injury. I had surgery right after, had plans to play professionally overseas, play volleyball. I was playing volleyball in college. And I thought I was healthy and I ate well, but college students we don't have a lot of money. And so even in our cafeteria, it still was very, very carb heavy, not a lot of fruits and vegetables. And my body just kind of gave out on me. And I realized after surgery, I needed to do something different for my body. But my doctors weren't telling me about fruits and vegetables. They were just talking about pills and what I needed to do for, lots of antibiotics and things like that. And I knew I needed more than that. So I really started doing more research. And so when I found whole foods is more important.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was when my husband was diagnosed with stage 4 brain cancer, and he was given 3 to 6 months to live. And it was Kathy from that health food store that I had shared, who shared with us the importance of whole food to help restore his health. Our journey started here, which really included juicing and switching our standard American diet, the SAD diet, to a much more cleaner, healthier diet. It was a 180-degree change from what we were eating.
Nice. So for me was the exposure to this community. Thank God this was my thought 8 years ago. We were not on antibiotics. I was a single mom of 2 back then. We were all constipated, that my 2 children and I. And when that is shared, right, because it's not the favorite conversation to have, everyone was around me. So I was like, okay, well, we're fine. It's the norm, right? My son, who will get sick almost on a monthly basis with over-the-counter medications, with a flu, runny nose. I was like, well, that's normal. Everyone around is the same, so I'm okay. So the exposure to this amazing community and the education that we are given from this community is what helped me understand, and it made sense. And once I started flooding our bodies with all these fruits and vegetables, there's an airplane. Sorry, I'm flying over. So when I said yes to making that one simple change, that I started noticing amazing results in our bodies, in his health. I was like, oh, the puzzle started gathering and putting it together, the bigger picture of health for us. So definitely the education and this community is what allowed me to make that switch.
Wow. So I can say that I can relate to everything that each of you said, being a mama, so being more concerned about my children than I am myself, being a college student and eating crap because it was quick and it was fast, being devastated by a cancer diagnosis with someone in our family. And then once I got educated, it was like, no stopping now. I got to keep going. So knowing what you know now, ladies, what is one simple change that you would recommend to a woman like yourself just getting started on their health journey?
Okay, I'll go. Find a mentor and someone to ask your healthy living questions to. Stay close to the fire and be part of a community that is wanting to make health changes. Doing it alone is much harder. So you want to find your people. And also, listen and educate yourself. Really, the greatest wealth really is health. So you want to just put that at the forefront and get your questions answered, find your people, and stay connected.
Yeah, that's really good. And I agree with that. I think community is very important. I think without community, it's very hard to stick with anything. And so you have to have people in your life who are on the same journey as you as well, pushing you and encouraging you. But I would also say just start small. Do your best to add in small things every day instead of replacing, fried food with, a different kind of oil, or replacing soda with water, replacing going to sleep super duper late. So maybe an hour earlier, just trying to start with smaller things in the beginning and then gradually develop a habit.
Wow. Love all these. I just have to say, hands down, eat more plants. I'm all about keeping things simple, and that easy button for my family for sure has been plant powders, and you're going to learn more about that.
I have to agree with you. And it's hard being the last, you guys said it all. But I will be a little bit bolder and encourage everyone to, my suggestion or advice will be do the shred 10, because we all have, and I'm being bold here again, done small things, and where it gets to a point where it's like, I don't know what else to do. I'm doing everything in my power. And doing the shred 10, in my experience, is what has allowed me to have better relationship with food. It has allowed me to understand what my body receives as food. It has allowed me to just understanding me more and knowing what to do, because knowing what my body receives then gives me that vision and focus of, oh, okay, this serves me, and whatever else is not serving me. So I'll focus on, adding more of what serves me. So the shred 10 touches on the community, not doing it alone, on adding more of whole food plants, on structures or guidelines where you get to understand so many things that are out there, crazy things that are out there. And in this program, you have everything you need to start off, and the guidance and all the tools that you need. So definitely, at least giving yourself the chance to watch a video, be part of the community through a Facebook private group, and why not? You're worth it. So give it a try. It's only 10 days.
Wow. I'm blown away about concerning you guys' stories, the ideas that you're sharing. And it sounds like to me that all of you have gotten connected in a community, right? And so that's very excited. And then I hear a little bit from each of you that there is something that you're doing. So the next question that we have for you is how has the plant powder, green things growing behind her? So how has the plant powders and growing has helped, like growing your own food has helped you and your family? So are there, what resonates with you with the plant powders that you're talking about? And what are those specific things that have helped each of you and your family?
Sure thing. So I'll tell you how I was introduced to these. It was through my sister. She was on her health journey of her own after a rheumatoid arthritis diagnosis. She called me the night she heard about them and wanted me to dig in and take a look. And when I did, I was ecstatic, honestly. It was the research, and then also that kiddos could receive it for free. So not only did I want her to get started, but my whole family I wanted on. And the fact that I could get going, I'm here to talk about the fruit and veggie blends of Juice Plus and my excitement over these two. We got going, and that also meant our children could receive for free for 4 years, which I thought was fantastic. Our son is no longer constipated. Our daughter rarely gets sick. My husband's acid reflux is gone. He had it our whole married life. And so are his sinus infections that were coming 2 times a year. And for me, I have peace of mind that my family is getting in a bunch of fruits and vegetables. Remember, I was trying to get them into recipes I was making. We get to do that every single day, and there's such peace of mind in that.
Yes, for me, I was first introduced to
Awesome,
plant
awesome.
powders by my friend Brittany. My friend Brittany, we coached together, and she started a company, and or partnered with the company, Juice Plus, and she's like, I really want to hear more about this. And I was like, okay, I'll check it out. You're my friend. I trust you. And at that point, I'd gone through a whole decade of trying my best to on my own heal myself with what I believe I knew. Like I was trying Ayurvedic, I was trying marshmallow root, everything you can think of. And it helped with my inflammation, but my knee was still swollen all the time. I'm still icing every single day. I was still in pain after my knee surgery, and I had already had another 2 knee surgeries after that. So I was just consistently in pain, and I was like, well, let me just try this. And the research for me was what did it. I was like, well, 40 plus research articles published in prestigious articles, of course, this is something I need, right? So for me, I added in the fruit and veggies, but then I added in the berries, which have 11 different powerhouse antioxidants in it. And we know powerhouse antioxidants and berries all about inflammation and immunity. So that was huge for me. And then I added in the plant protein, which I love. We have vanilla and chocolate, and I love it because it's very versatile. I can put it in my oatmeal. I can make a smoothie with it and put my capsules in there. I can do little complete balls and make it really quick. But for me, it was all about adding in everything, but the powerhouse of the plant powders with the berries and also the plant protein is what changed a lot for me as far as inflammation.
Well, first, I would just like to share that my husband did not pass as expected in just a few months. But after 3 years of trying to flood his body with plant food, along with a juicing regimen he was on, and by the way, it's very time consuming. We are raising our 3 young children. It's costing us $250 a month. But it was in year 2000 that my husband was at a breakfast meeting when he heard about plant powders in a capsule or a tasty gummy, and it was backed with so much research. Well, it was a no-brainer for me when for either of us, when we saw all the research on Juice Plus and just all the health professionals that were recommending it. I started right away and noticed that within a week or so that I had a lot more energy and my digestion was improved. And I wanted my whole family on it because, again, as you heard, kids can get it for free. And my kids were typically visiting the pediatrician quite often, and that all started to change. They were not catching the latest bug like their friends. And if they did get something, it was just so much shorter. And again, my husband was glad to see the research. And more importantly, he was able to get 30 fruits and veggies in his diet easily, whereas before we were juicing, 5 or so things. We fell in love with the additional products, the smoothies. I love making them for my family and my friends. They're just packed full of additional plant food. And then the tower gardens, when they came out, we were in too on that. I mean, who doesn't want an easy way to grow a garden, right? But another game changer, though, was when the Omega blend came out, these amazing Omegas about 4 years ago. Not only do they have your 3, but they also have your 5, 6, 7, and 9. They're all plant-based. And when you think of Omegas, typically, you're probably thinking fish. Well, I did not know that fish, they don't make omega-3s. It comes from the algae, the plants that they eat. So Juice Plus actually has bypassed the fish and has gone directly to the source. And omegas are shown to be so helpful with your brain, your heart, your lungs, eyes, and joints. And when I started taking these omegas, I really wasn't sure what to expect. But about 6 weeks into taking them, I really noticed a significant change in my mood and my mental clarity. But you see, my husband did pass away 6 years ago. But instead of just a few months, he lived almost 19 years. And I really believe it was God and this healthier lifestyle that blessed us with these incredible extra years.
Oh, thank you.
That's
Thank you.
beautiful. Thank you. So 8 years ago, I was a single mom of 2 and unemployed. So I am so thankful. A stranger approached me and she shared with me this amazing opportunity, not only to bombard our bodies with more fruits and vegetables, but also the part of expanding my knowledge and seeing this perhaps at that time as a plan B, although I was unemployed. So it made sense for my son. I thought it was healthy. And I said, well, thanks to this amazing company that allows families to grow healthy together, I started bombarding myself because of my son, not because I needed it, I thought. So I started with the fruits and the vegetables because of financial issues. And this friend that now is my best friend, she said, well, I can help you pay for it. I'll show you a way. Would you be interested? And I said, sure, it makes a lot of sense to me. Maybe that's why my son is getting sick on a monthly basis. So sure enough, I started with the fruits and vegetables. Gradually, I added the purple. And not that I would recommend it do it that way, but I love that it happened that way because I was able to see what each of these products did in our health. And it was amazing. When the tower gardens came out, I was like, oh no, I'm not a gardener. That's not for me. I don't have time for that. And oh my goodness, sure enough, one more time, I said yes. I allowed to say yes myself to the education. It made sense again. Making your food, it's like printing your own money. And amen to that. I mean, we all can see how crazy things are in our supermarkets, all these recalls. I read on an article that about 50 hands touch our food before they get to our kitchen. Not even talking about all the sprays and everything that goes around and into our foods. So when I said yes to this about 7 years ago, I was like, oh, let's see. I have never grown anything in my life besides that bean in the cup when I was in 3rd grade. So, and after that was the only thing I have grown. So I was like, okay, we'll see how easy it is. So who gets time for this? I don't know about you, but I don't. And look how beautiful these beautiful plants are. I love the simplicity. I love the fact that, look at this beautiful pepper. I don't know if you can see it. That it doesn't matter the age of the plant, you can still grow it. You can see that I have larger plants than others, and it's just one simple thing. Make sure it has water. You add the minerals that are liquid, and literally you just watch them grow. Thanks to this way of growing our own foods, or some of them, now I can tell you that we eat tomatoes, cucumbers that I never ate them because I never ate them. Guess what? They were never served on our plates. So that's why I am so passionate about talking to adults, because we lead the path for our children. And it is amazing to see the influence of just planting a seed And guess what? Clean hands. You don't get your hands dirty with this, which is another win-win for me. I don't want to get my nails dirty. So the power of planting a seed and watching it grow, it has that connection with our body and nature that unconsciously we started being attracted and coming out and talking to them and watching them. And oh my gosh, a week before we're taking pictures, and it's been so much fun and so much money saving that I cannot explain, and adding so much flavor to our plates that I am in love with this. We actually own 3, and I just love it. So it's so much simpler, our lives. Thank you for letting me share.
Oh, thank you. Wow, 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 wow. Like I'm blown away. So you guys' stories are wonderful. I love to grow. I grow as well. So that is wonderful. Yes, it saves you money. Yes, the recalls, we don't have to worry about that. And Tyra, I am so thankful that you were able through the products that we have, through these plant powders and the Tower Garden, able to enjoy your husband for 19 years after that devastating divorce, and TK just being pain-free and being able to love your sport and be able to practice and teach and coach. That is awesome. And Jill, just being able to not even now sneak fruits and vegetables into your kids' lives. You don't have to do that anymore. I'm sure that they are just every day asking you, or just going to get their gummies or chewables or plant powders. So that's wonderful. Ladies, your stories are just amazing. And I really want to thank you for that. So one thing that's weaving in and out of what we're saying is, we know as women, it's so important. And I was listening to Nicole's story about, being a single mom and raising kids, and Tyra have kids, and Jill is talking about her kids. And so it takes a community, right? So whether we're single or married, it just takes a community. Whether we have kids or not, it takes a community. And each of you spoke about, your family or your mothers or the women in your lives. So tell us, what does community mean to you? What does it mean for you to belong? Because it sounds like you're in a huge community now. So what does that look like for you, and what has that added to your life? Like the value of being in a community has added to your lives. And we'll start back again with Jill.
It's the best part, honestly. Besides the nutrition, then the peace of mind that we get with flooding our bodies every day. We are a mix of women, some older, some younger, and we all get to speak into each other and mentor each other. And we also have a whole lot of fun together. Just last week, we were together for our Juice Plus Live, our conference, and there was 14 of us that went ziplining. How fun. It was fantastic. So these are people that we want to do life with. We are all growing to be the better versions of ourselves, and we get to lock arms and do life together. Many of us are raising daughters, including like I am, and these are people that I want my daughter to be around. And seeing us step out of comfort zones and all of that. So the community is one of the best parts.
Wow.
Yes, Jill, 100% community is the most exciting part. I mean, besides, of course, the fact that we get to take care of our bodies better and we can feel better and all the amazing things that happen when you flood your body with plants, but the community is huge. I actually joined the company when, and this is all, of course, God's beautiful timing and God's beautiful plan, but I joined April of 2020, not knowing that a few months later, I was going to have to basically leave a position that I helped build, a company I helped build. And that was devastating for me. And so being able to join this community and God already having a plan for me to step into a new community that was going to embrace me and love on me, I can love into and pour into as well, was huge. It was huge for me. Perfect timing, perfect timing. So like Jill just said, we had a great time last week in Anaheim. It is beautiful to come together, women who are like-minded, who all want to take care of the world in a different way. Our mission is to spread healthy living. And it's great to have women and men who come along, but bring so much fire and joy to your life. It feeds your soul. So it has been absolutely incredible. And you don't really know it until you're in it. You don't really get it until you're in it, because it sounds like, oh, it's a lot of fluff. But the truth is, it really is real, and they really do change. It can change your life.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Being part of like-minded and a positive group of people who are up to doing good for others is just an extraordinary gift. It's given me and my family so many options to say yes more often because we said yes to Juice Plus. We get to give people with tools that can just change their life. And so many of my best friends today are from this community. Actually, yesterday some of us were on the phone. We're planning a trip to Punta Cana, the Dominican. And I just love the support from Juice Plus at the home office, along with these beautiful people that are on this call and others all around the world who are just passionate about making a difference. And a day doesn't go by that I'm forever thankful that someone shared Juice Plus with me and my family. And now I get to have impact on others with their health and if they choose, their financial future. So blessed.
It is definitely a blessing. And you guys have said it all one more time. What can I say? I do want to say this one thing. Agreeing with everything you guys have said and living it, and you have to experience it to understand it. I had to learn how to live in a community. I understood that church is when two or more people gather together, doing what's right and loving and caring for each other. However, my experience on that, with that vision wasn't really a community. So I had to live. I was like, oh no, that's too perfect. That's not me. I'm not like them. That was my vision of community. Every time people would invite me to, there's many communities out there. And what I found in this community is not perfect people allowed. And not only that, is people, we all have issues. Life gets on the way. And like Tyra said, finding a community with the same vision of, I just want to simplify my life. I want to live life to the plus. I just want to know how to resolve or easy on my issues, whatever they are, financial, health, relating with each other. It is so beautiful to learn with the experience of watching others doing it and seeing how others perhaps have bigger issues than mine. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, God. I'm having my pity party here. And look how she's smiling. Look how she's thriving with whatever, her life looks like. So I had to learn to expose myself and one more time say yes to showing up, and either on a Zoom line like this or in person, which is the best way because you get to connect and see and feel. It is beautiful. And just being humble and sharing, allowing my voice to be expressed and using my voice and realizing eventually with the exposures that my story also matters, that even though I am not perfect, I didn't grow up in this picture beautiful life or education and all that, knowing that I get to impact other people just by sharing where I have been and what I have gone through and overcome, like all of us here. So that was a big aha moment for me, being exposed to this community. And it has changed my life because now I get to be a better mom, a better person, a better wife, a better daughter, thanks to the exposure to all of you ladies. So thank you for everything you do.
Oh, wow. Yes, I just feel like I can just continue to say, wow, wow, wow. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And I feel so like, I think out of everyone here, I've only met two of you. So I feel like I'm now, I have more people in my community, and that feels really good. And so Precious and I truly appreciate you all coming on today. But before we finish, I have a challenge for all of us, including myself. So I'm going to give us just 10-15 seconds. I want you to think, we're leading up to Mother's Day. And when I think of Mother's Day, which starts tomorrow, right? Mother's Day month. May is Mother's Day month. So I think of women in our lives, not, because you don't have to birth a child to be a mother. but just think of a woman, think of a couple of women. And if you don't mind, just their first names or initials or first initial of their name, just take a second. I'm going to give us about 10 seconds. Think of, and I won't, because if so, I won't be able to hold my phone in my car. But in my head, I've got about 3 women in my head. So I'm calling us to some action. We've talked about community. We've talked about women in our lives. And so now, you know, we can talk all day, but if there's no action, right? So let's think of 1 to 2 to 3 women that needs community, and just pop their initials or their names in the chat. Annette, LP, Carla, Jewel, Nisi, Alicia, Jade, Cam. Oh, wow. Katie, Claudia, Kimberly. Oh, wow. Wow. This is wonderful. Amen. Amen. So my challenge to all of us is those folks that you are thinking about right now who could use better health, who could use love, who could benefit from a community, who could benefit from income. I'm challenging all of us in the month of May, in honor of Mother's Day, in honor of women. I know we've passed Women's Month, but I challenge us to go out and bring that woman into our community because she needs it. She absolutely needs it. Right? And I think about women that I walk across or see or talk to that I have not tried to bring into my community. Not that I have there is no perfect. Nicole was saying there's no perfection here, but we can all use community. We can all use someone to just love on us. And that's what community is to me, is just love. Oh my God, I see so many women's names. Oh, wow. So we have to empower. That's the topic of our call, women empowering women. So I challenge you in the month of May, those women that you put in the chat, the women that are on your mind, I challenge you to go out and empower them in any way. Anything that you've heard today that you resonate with, go empower them, please. And I think that's all that I have. Are there any questions? Precious, do you have anything to add, or any of the panelists? If there's anything additionally you would like to add, please do so now.
I would like to go ahead and add something before I stop the recording. Whoever invited you on this call, please get back with them to, follow up, ask any questions, talk about this amazing community that we belong to. Wanda and I are keeping this empowerment movement going. So in 2 weeks, we are doing this call again, but this time we're doing it for men. It will be called Men Empowering Men. And so I'm going to give you that same challenge that Wanda gave to you so that you will get men on this call. We as women, we're usually the ones taking care of those men in our lives. And so let's try to get them on this call so we can help them as well. It doesn't matter how much money you have if your health isn't intact. It means absolutely nothing. And so if you were invited on this call, that is because the person who invited you actually cares. Okay. So we do not want to keep you because it is a beautiful Saturday afternoon, but we are so grateful that you decided to spend it with us. I am going to go ahead and end the call, but I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a few moments if there is